See, being profitable actually isn't hard at all. It's actually really simple and even boring at times. Today, I'm going to share with you the exact way from complete beginner to profitable trader and how I did it. Okay, so I'm sure you've all either had a job before or have a job right now. And as you know, the hardest part of any job is always the beginning. It's always that learning process. So by all means, Forex is not simple at all. You know, in the very beginning, it's gonna be quite a struggle. You're gonna be trying to figure out what you can do to be profitable and what you're doing that's making you not profitable. So in any career, always the learning process that's the hardest part. You know, from getting hired to then being trained and trying to get a hang of things. For the most part, after all that's over, it's a pretty smooth ride. It gets pretty simple and pretty boring, pretty repetitive. Obviously, you're gonna have the occasional bumps, of course, along the way, and that's normal. Now, so it's the exact same thing for Forex. So today I'm gonna try to show you what I did to actually get through this learning process and the steps I had to make exactly from where you could be as a beginner, or maybe you've been trading for 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 years and you still aren't profitable. I'm gonna show you exactly everything I did and everything that you need to do, need to have, need to get to being profitable. So from the very start, I had no clue where to begin. Now, if you're in the same position, that's okay, because I'm gonna tell you what I did and what is the single most important part to actually becoming profitable, especially if you know all the beginner stuff already. I'm gonna tell you what actually helped me become profitable. And probably one of the most single key moments for me was actually supply and demand. Okay. Wait. So I know you're probably thinking right now, supply and demand is in supply and demand trading style, but that's not actually what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about the supply and demand of a strategy. So as you know, supply and demand exists almost everywhere in the world. Now, obviously, the more you have of something or the more supply of something there is out there, the less valuable it becomes. For example, dirt. You know, there's dirt almost everywhere on this planet and it's not very valuable. And then you have diamonds, and diamonds obviously are very rare and very hard to come by, and that's why, you know, they're worth so much. That same concept actually applies to a trading strategy. If you're looking on YouTube and trying to find all these perfect strategies and you see everyone using these strategies and everyone saying they have success for them or success with them,
they probably don't have that much success with them.
If you take into account supply and demand, it works the exact same thing with Forex. You know, if there's a strategy out there and almost every single person is using that strategy, there's gonna be a huge supply of that strategy. You know, there's gonna be lots of knowledge out there on it, lots of people using it, and that strategy isn't going to be very valuable. One of the biggest key is to find that diamond strategy. And to find that strategy, you have to find a strategy that has a very rare amount of it, or strategy that not a lot of people are using, or maybe even something that you can create yourself. You know, because if you create a strategy yourself, it's going to be very rare that other people are using the same exact strategy as you. And the more rare your strategy is, the higher probability chance you're gonna have of success using that strategy. So for example, when I was first starting out, I was looking everywhere, all over YouTube, the internet, Instagram, everywhere I could possibly look for some profitable strategies. But honestly, the secret to the market is that the strategies out there aren't going to work because it's so oversaturated. Everyone's using it. And if everyone's using the same strategy, you know, the market works in opposite. So if 90% of the people are using the strategy, the market is going to try to do the opposite of that. You know, this is where a lot of the other traders are making money and the institutions are making money and the big players in the markets are making the money. You know, if everyone is going for a buy, you know, a lot of these big institutions are going to try to do the opposite of that. Are going to try to take all that money and liquidity from all your buy orders, try to move the markets into a sell. Okay. So before we get to the diamond strategy, let's start with exactly what you need in order to get from beginner to profitable. Firstly, you're gonna need a good and reliable broker. And for that, I highly recommend signing up with Hanko Trade. I personally use Hanko Trade, and I think they're the best broker that you can get right now. To sign up with Hanko Trade, it's super simple, and you know me, I like simple. So all you have to do is go to their website, register an account. And the good thing about Hanko is you can make an account super fast and super easy. So once you've created an account, then what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna get your account funded with crypto. So once you get your account funded, you can start trading within probably 15 minutes or so. This whole process is actually gonna be really fast, which is good because it's gonna get you on the charts and get you practicing right away. Okay, so now that step one is done, you actually have your account, you have your broker. You need to hook your broker up to whatever trading platform you're gonna use. There are many platforms out there. I'll let you do your research on that. Now for step two, this is where you're actually going to develop your own strategy. And this is the part that's probably going to take at least a couple months. I mean, even to this day, my own strategy is constantly being evolved and developed over time, and it's only getting better and better and better as time goes on. For this, you can either grab some inspiration from some other strategies that already exist, or you can start from scratch and come up with your own strategy. So if you're going to take from a strategy that already exists, just remember, you don't want to trade the exact same strategy because there's a lot of people trading the same strategy, it's not going to work as well. Just the same way in any industry. If every single company sold iPhones would be really cheap, but because only iPhone sells iPhones, it's really expensive and it's a good quality product. So the same thing applies to trading. We're trying to find a good quality trading strategy that not a lot of people are using, and for that, that's going to take you time to develop. So the key here is to make your strategy more rare. So think about it. If 90% of all the other traders out there are actually losing money, don't do what 90% of all the traders are doing, and 90% of all the other traders are just watching YouTube videos and strategies and just copying it. It's good to look up other strategies to get some inspiration and maybe learn more about trading, but you want to develop it into your own. Now I know some of you are going to say,
Well, no, actually you can trade strategies. It's just because your risk management isn't proper. That's why you're losing.
I highly disagree with that. I personally believe, yes, risk management is very important, and I talk about it a lot on this channel, but it's also really important to have your own strategy that's going to work, because even if you have the best risk management in the world, if you're trading a strategy that loses like 99% of the time, it's not going to work. So over time, you're going to learn to tweak it and make it into exactly what you want, whether that's taking some things away from the strategy or maybe adding more things like confirmations and extra things that you need to know, like where to enter in your strategy and what's the best time to exit your strategy. But yeah, and that will develop over time, and that's totally fine. You know, you're going to start out with a strategy that's maybe break even or just slightly profitable, and over time you'll get more and more profitable, which is good. That's what we're looking to do. So it's really that simple. And just remember, risk management is really important. Use just 1% on your trades. In this industry, time is more valuable than the money you're gonna make at first. So just focus on the time, focus on putting the hours and really developing to make that high quality strategy, and you'll do just fine. But yeah, and if you're looking for inspiration for a good strategy, you're welcome to join my premium Discord. It comes with an entire course, and I do weekly setups in there as well. It's also a really cheap price compared to all the other Forex teachers. Just make sure you're not sharing my strategy too much, because I want to keep it a little bit more private. But yeah, and if you can't, that's totally fine. I've never bought a course in my life myself, and maybe that's what's also helped me become profitable. So who knows?